right, listen up. This is the Music Scene Podcast. I am your host, Dave Cudrak. Today, I've got an interesting interview with a country band called Crossbucks. Super, super nice folks. Because of the fact that I was interviewing all four members of the band, and they're a little bit far away, geographically speaking, about an hour and a half from where I live. I decided to go to them for the interview. And it was a first where, interviewing somebody on location, so to speak. It was a fun experience. I really enjoyed meeting them, getting to know them. Super, super nice people. It's interesting. This band focuses primarily on train songs about trains, things like that, which kind of led them to the old country music genre. They do some other stuff, but this band originated around train songs. So the story around that, the story around all the different bands that they've been in over time, it's all great stuff. And I'm super proud to meet every one of them and really enjoyed hanging out with them for the time that we were together recording this episode. So sit back, relax, enjoy my conversation with Crossbucks. All right, so we are here on the Music Scene Podcast with Crossbucks Train Songs, right? Is that the name of your band?
It's Crossbucks. Yeah,
Crossbucks.
But
Okay.
We play train songs.
Okay, cool. Because you're the handle on Facebook, I think, is Crossbucks Train Songs, right?
It demanded 2 words.
Oh, okay. All right. So why don't we just go around the horn and introduce everybody? So who wants to start?
We'll go from left to right. My left. I'm Larry Fetters.
Larry Fetters. What do you do in the band, Larry?
Bass, primarily now.
Okay.
Guitar, keyboards, harmonica. I think that's it.
All right. Nice. Jack of all trades. All right. Next.
I'm Kim Fetters.
Kim Fetters.
I'm Larry Fetters' wife.
Okay, nice.
And I play guitar, I play a little bit of keyboard, and I sing.
Okay, awesome.
Don't
Oh,
forget
and banjo.
And banjo. All right.
Banjo, yeah.
Nice. Banjo. Awesome. All right.
I'm Chaz Man. I play guitar, I play bass, harmonica, and sing.
Okay, awesome.
I'm Dave Caswell, drums, cowbell.
All right. Can never have enough cowbell.
And he's forgetting the train whistle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. All right, so describe to me what train songs are for those that might not know.
Well, sure. Any song that has something to do with trains, anything at all. I mean, it doesn't have to be strictly a train song as long as it mentions a train or has something to do with a train.
Okay.
Railroad. Or,
Tracks.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So is that kind of the theme of the band? You guys play mostly that, or do you do other stuff as well?
We do other stuff. We just started doing other stuff. We were playing train songs, and the more you play them, the more it gets into the old country. And
okay.
When you get into that old country, it's a little mind numbing. So we branched out a little bit, and we play a few songs that have nothing to do with trains.
Okay, all right. And you guys are primarily a cover band, right?
Yes.
We are. We've went through a couple of retoolings and we've decided just to stay with us 4.
Okay.
And so we do have some originals. We just haven't worked on them.
Sure.
But not to the point where we would present them or play them live yet. So.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. Is there a plan for those originals? Do you expect to maybe record them and release them someday, or?
Oh,
Yeah.
We do, yes.
Okay. Awesome. Who has written those originals? Is it?
I have Chaz has.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Chaz, and what's that process, that writing process look like? Do you guys just get in a room together and start hashing out lyrics and chords and stuff, or?
Actually, the tunes that we've written, we didn't write together. I wrote
okay.
a tune.
Yep.
Yeah, you write tune. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So you've got a few songs that you've written individually that you're gonna bring to the band.
The band
Okay.
comes in, helps with the arrangements and
Okay.
instruments and things. And I have stuff that's been recorded, so it's a lot of it would be, okay, who's going to do what, where.
Okay.
in the band at the time doing a live performance.
Awesome. Was that recorded and was that released out on all the platforms or no? No.
It's just it's something I did with a friend of mine, and Kim, a little bit back in 2008, 2010. We did it at a wonderful gentleman's home studio in Westchester.
Okay.
Mission Studios. His name is Joe Ruggiero, late Joe Ruggiero, and put together a collection of material that I had written over the years, and some of that is what we're going to incorporate into the band.
Okay, cool. So how long has Crossbucks been well, we forgot to introduce the band mascot, manager, you know, who do we have here sitting on you guys' lap?
That's our Karma.
Karma.
Yes.
Okay. Karma's a sweetheart. Yeah,
She is.
She introduced herself to me as soon as I walked in, and she's great. She's trying to find a spot now.
Finding a new lap for the...
So how long has Crossbucks been together as a band?
The concept of the band's been about 3 years.
Okay.
We started off, it was just a couple of folks that were thinking of making a jug band.
Oh, okay.
Just to have some fun.
Yep.
Actually, we had a wash tub bass, amplified wash tub bass.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That was cool.
And, we were just, I had a kazoo that looked like a trombone. So we were just having some fun with it and putting some songs out there.
Nice.
And then it just evolved from that to like, hey, we actually sound good with doing this. Let's
Awesome.
change it and put some real instruments.
Right. That's fantastic.
So, yeah, but I think that it's been 2 years since Crossbucks has been a trained band.
Okay. Yep.
And then Dave's been with us for a little over a year now,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Time's fun when you're having flies.
Really?
All right. So let's get a little bit of background on every band member, right? So Dave, you're the drummer, right? When did you first pick up drums?
5th grade.
5th grade? Yeah. Was it part of like a school thing or yeah?
Grade school, and then got into junior high, started a full set of drums.
Okay.
Went through dance band, concert band, orchestra, whatever, marching band.
Sure.
All the way through high school. Yeah.
Nice. And did you were you in like cover bands and stuff back in the day?
A lot of bands.
Yeah, were you? Yeah. Any of those bands ever kind of do anything?
No.
Or was it all just local shows?
Friends, been together. I had one band, we were together like 22 years.
Oh wow. Okay. What was the name of that band?
30 years after.
30 years after.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. We're still all friends.
Okay, cool.
We're all retired. And I'm the only one still playing though, out of the whole band.
Oh, really?
No, I can't take that back. My friend Steve's still playing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Very cool.
A lot of fun.
Yep. And his drums is aside from the train whistle, are drums your only instrument? Okay, great. How about you, Chaz? Where did you start?
I played through high school. Started off in punk rock music, actually.
Did you?
Punk
Nice.
rock the country. That's the path.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in a few bands back then, and then I stopped playing for a good while.
How long was your hiatus, if you don't mind
I would
me
say
asking?
it was 20 years.
Yeah,
20 years.
same. I went through maybe a 20-year hiatus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did too.
So,
Whoa, cool.
buddy of mine came and asked me to sit in with his band a couple of times. I sat in with the band, and then he said, "Well, why don't you come full time?"
Right.
Went full time, and then next thing you know, I switched instruments from bass to guitar,
Okay.
and that's how I got that started. And actually, when that band dissolved, he came and was one of the original members of the Crossbucks.
Oh, okay.
That was Charlie Rakosny. His band was Younger and Charlie, and I came from that band and started this one, and
Nice.
that's where we are now. So.
All right, cool. What did you guys do? So you originally started in a punk band. You were playing bass.
I was playing guitar with the punk band.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you guys ever play out anywhere?
Oh yeah, we
shows?
played lots of places. We played the most famous punk rock place you can play is
CBGB's?
Yeah.
Nice. You're my second guest now that's played CBGB's. That's awesome.
And I was actually talking to a guy. Says, "Oh, he said you play." He said the place smells like urine. I'm like, "Yeah, you've played there."
That's how you know that you played there. Yeah. That's how you prove it. What was that? How many times did you play? Just once or multiple
Just
times?
once at CBG.
How was it? What was it like?
Seeing as I was 17 at the time, it was exciting. It was fun. It was an experience, that's for sure.
I apologize if you said the name of the band already. What was the name of the band?
That was Throne of Corruption.
Throne of Corruption. Man, that's a good name. I love that name. I'm a metalhead at heart, so Throne of Corruption's amazing. That's awesome. Awesome. So, and then you've been, so after the punk band, did it just kind of naturally progress towards what you're doing now, or?
Yeah, after the punk band, actually, we followed the Dead for 6 to 8 years until Jerry passed.
Yeah.
And so that sort of changed me to a country side.
Now, when you say follow the band, you weren't like traveling around the country literally following, were you?
Yeah, well, I went as far west as Chicago. I didn't make the West Coast.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did. We went to Chicago. We seen the Vermont shows they did, New York, all the Philly shows, DC. I guess South Carolina is as far south as we went to see them.
Still, though, that's awesome. How many Dead shows do you think you've seen?
Close to 50. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Close to 50, but I've probably been to 150 shows. Just didn't get into one.
Right. I hear you. That's awesome. All right. How about you? Where did you start? What do you play an instrument? We have banjo.
I play banjo. Well, I just started playing banjo.
Okay.
But I've been playing guitar since I was 15.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Nice.
originally from West Virginia, so I learned the Travis double picking at that time.
Nice.
And so I'm a picker and a grinner.
Nice.
Yeah. So and then I picked up singing when I was playing guitar, and the guys usually in the neighborhood we'd get together and play.
Yep.
And then in school, vocally in choir, I toured Europe. So that was
No
a great
way,
experience.
really?
Yeah, that was very cool. It was 9 countries, 9
Wow.
cities. It was a great experience.
That's awesome.
And then I went into nursing school.
Oh, okay.
But I still played guitar. I would have my guitar in nursing school. I'd go into the bathrooms with the showers because it had great acoustics.
Oh, sure,
and I kid you not, I would take my guitar and practice in there.
That's great.
And then when I got out of nursing and I was working on the floor, I would actually take my guitar in after I would do day shift, and I would bring my guitar in on evening shift and play guitar for patients.
Nice.
And then I got married and put the guitar down for 20 years, not to this wonderful person. But the first time I got married, I put the guitar down. And 20 years later, which was such a chuckle because but then it makes me feel good. Everybody else had 20 years.
You're not the only one. Yep. You're not
And then, things didn't work out, but then they did work out for me when I met this wonderful man.
There you go.
And then I picked up the guitar again, and we started singing.
Yeah, as a duo and then as a trio.
As a trio.
And then 4, then 5. So.
Yeah, and then so I've learned so much more, and in these recent years than I did when I first picked up the guitar.
Sure.
And of course now I'm playing banjo, which is like whoa, and so it's very exciting for me.
Yeah. The banjo fascinates me because it's not like any other instrument.
No.
So explain how you started the banjo and what that journey's looking like so far.
They made me start the banjo because we have a song that plays, has banjo in it, and I said, oh yeah, that sounds. And I thought, how hard can it be? I do all this crazy picking on the guitar, so I thought I should be able to translate that into a banjo. Mm-hmm. So I got the banjo, and I'm still working at it.
Okay.
I'm a work in progress, but I think it's coming along.
It is coming along.
Yeah.
It's coming along.
But
We're doing a Dead South song called
Yeah.
In Hell I'll Be Good Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
So
unfortunately she picks a song where not only is it the first time you play a new instrument, but then instead of tuned to a G, it's tuned to a G minor.
Oh,
Yeah.
So take all the chords and throw them
yeah,
out.
and there's less strings. So before I got the banjo, I was picking it on the guitar, so I had to pretend the guitar only has. It has strings. I can't touch this, and then I said, let's just get a banjo because I think my brain will be happier.
Yeah, right. That's so funny. Awesome. Is there anybody that you're just self-teaching, or are you taking lessons?
I took lessons at a music store in Weirton, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Which is where I'm from, and I know and I started there, and I had great teachers that taught me the picking, and then
Okay.
I just took off from there.
Yeah, so far
Self-taught.
I've tried to do the Travis picking. I've looked up various YouTube videos on how to do it and stuff. I just can't. So far, I just can't get my fingers to do what you're supposed to do. It's a great style, but so far I can't figure it out.
It is challenging. Yeah. Well, when we met, because I don't strum, so
Oh, okay.
I've learned to strum from Larry, and I taught him how to finger pick.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of
I got all my Travis lessons from Kim,
Okay.
so that worked out really
Awesome.
well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it was a great trade-off.
How did you guys meet?
Yeah.
I was singing with another guy in an acoustic duo up in Phoenixville, in a place called the Epicurean. And one night I noticed someone that I hadn't seen before in the crowd in the back, and they were paying a lot of attention. And I kept looking, and they kept looking back. And then after during a break, Kim comes up and introduces herself. It says that she plays guitar and sings a little bit, and
Nice.
then would she mind getting together? And she wanted to find a new guitar that was acoustic electric, and I said, "Well, I'll help you spend your money." No problem at all. So we got together a couple of months later, after she got back from going to places from work.
Yep.
And
I travel a lot.
so we went around to a couple of music stores in the area, and she found a beautiful guitar that she really liked, and she sat in the back room, in the acoustic guitar room, and she started picking, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then she opened her mouth and she started singing. I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough just being a friendship.
You were hooked.
Yeah, so a little bit of, we just kept sharing types of music that we were listening to and enjoyed trying to learn and trying to play. And again, like as Kim said, I was came to acoustic music from a different area, and we sort of merged in the middle with songs that we could sing together, harmonize together with,
Nice.
and then play good complementary picking patterns and things, and that's how we fell in love.
Nice.
Yeah, because
That's
I
awesome.
learned to play by ear.
Oh, okay.
So he's the note reader and
the tab reader and things like that.
Yeah.
So he helped me pick me out a really good electric guitar, acoustic guitar, which is what I wanted. I had my first guitar my dad bought me.
Yep.
Was a Yamaha 160, I think. Which I still have.
Nice. Nice.
But I wanted something electric, so I got the Takamine. It was good.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is good.
Which is funny because she comes to me with an FG 160, and I went, wow, my first guitar was a Yamaha FG 150. That I probably bought when you were 5.
So you said you came from different kind of backgrounds. Where did you start, Larry, as far as music?
I started playing classical piano when I was 5.
Really?
6 years old.
Nice.
And when I was 12, I got my first acoustic guitar. And I, of course, at that point, and with all the radio influences back then, it was hard for classical piano to keep up with what I really wanted to do and what I started to enjoy. And I was just learning from friends around that played. I was in different groups of friends from either church or high school that played music. So I started my first band, I guess, 1971, 1972.
Yep.
A couple guys that I knew, and formed a beautiful acoustic trio doing James Taylor and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Beatles and things like that.
Okay.
And great harmonies, and we called ourselves Coldstream.
Nice.
And that morphed into people went one way, not more different people joined the band. Steve, the guy that Dave talked about earlier, that he was in a band with for 20 some years. He was in my band.
Oh, wow.
Because we all went to this, we were in the same area for high schools and stuff like that.
Yep.
So he was part of Coldstream. Then Coldstream took a left turn and started to become a more acoustic electric country with Steve. And then Steve left, and we got a keyboard player and another electric guitar player, and at that point it was the late 70s, early 80s. So we went from playing James Taylor and stuff like that to playing Peter Gabriel, to playing Genesis, Elvis Costello, Pretenders, the Cars. And that went on for I guess another 4 or 5 years. We did great shows between the late version of the acoustic country rock things. We did Spring Fling over in Millersville. Played on a flatbed on the 40-yard line over there, football field for Spring Fling. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. To
doing Turk's Head music show that happens every summer for about 6 or 8 years.
Okay.
And then doing a lot of shows in the Delaware area with the rock band.
Okay.
And then that sort of magically disappeared for 4 or 5 years, and then I got back, went back into the acoustic trio again, and then that's when we met.
Yep.
And then we got asked to play in a rock band for a little while. At the end of that, the lead guitarist and the bass player stayed with Kim and with me. Dave came on.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And we had played with Dave once before with Steve, and just as a fun jam type of gig. Steve had an interesting place to play. Second floor of a funeral home.
No way, really?
He owned the funeral home. Our practice room, we had the acoustics were awesome.
Were they really?
12-foot ceilings in West.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Nobody ever complained.
No. We never had problems with the noise.
We could play as loud as we wanted.
Yeah, right.
The first time I came into, I'd known that from before playing with Steve. But we come in and I'm like, where do we go? Because, you look in and there's the parlors on the first floor.
Right.
So, and then there's this set of stairs that goes way up. Oh, I've got to take all this stuff upstairs. And you get upstairs and it's another parlor room.
Oh, okay.
With PA equipment all over the place, guitar amps, bass amps, keyboards, and I'm like, oh, I like this. So we would jam on Wednesdays a couple times a month, and that's how we first met. And then we formed a band called 84 Glide that had played a lot of we played some of the summer concert series around here in the parks, some private parties, and that went really well. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And that's where that stopped. And that's when we still stayed together, Dave and Kim and I, musically. And that's when Kim got asked to play.
Yeah, to try out.
To try out.
Yeah,
with
so actually it
Crossbucks.
was the drummer from the previous band that introduced us, Ralph DeVecchio, said he knew somebody who would be interested, because we were looking for a female singer. And so that's when we first met her, and she came in. Right away we were like, yeah, this is it. There was no doubt. We didn't even have to really discuss it. We walked in the other room, and what was it, about 2 minutes later we came back, yeah, you're in. And Larry was actually, he just drove her there for I don't know, maybe 2-3 months, and I kept seeing him, getting involved with this and that, and I'm like, oh, we might as well utilize Larry too. So that's.
Did you have another guitar player that Larry was going to replace then, or no?
We had to work things out because everybody played guitar. Everybody. So we had 5 guitar players. Somebody's going to have to play bass. But yeah, so we worked that out. And, I would play bass. I love playing bass. I have a hard time playing bass and singing at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And since I do, I guess, the majority of the vocals, it was tough. So
sure.
I'm working on it. I'm learning. Guess we do maybe 3 songs that I play the bass on and sing background vocals.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll ease my way into
Yeah.
The way we have our configuration set up on stage for a live show, we'll have Chaz next to me, and then Kim, we can stick a keyboard in between the two of us.
Okay.
And the bass on a wireless behind us.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Most of the time, Chaz will be on guitar, I'll be on bass, Kim's next to me, and she'll be primarily on guitar.
Right.
She has two different guitars she uses. She uses a Fender Acoustasonic, which gives her the opportunity to be either acoustic or semi-electric, and then she switches over to a Telecaster for the harder edge
Look
stuff.
at you.
Sweet.
She has.
I love that guitar.
Yeah.
She becomes Jimi Hendrix.
She becomes Jimi Hendrix. And for the primarily I play bass. I use a Variax electric, so it gives me the opportunity to either play bass and lead at the same time.
Oh, cool.
Through two different channels.
You know what? I
Helix.
recently heard that about like that. You're probably the second person that brought it up and never knew that stuff existed. So explain to me how it works.
Well, the Variax, Line 6 Variax, has the ability to model a lot of different string instruments, whether it be banjo or mandola or square neck resonators, electrics, all different kinds of solid body, hollow body electrics. I can achieve a model of a very beautiful Gibson acoustic guitar on there, or a Martin 12 string. So I don't really have to bring a whole lot of other instruments and I run that through a Helix floor model.
Oh, okay.
So when you have that cabled in correctly, I can actually, without changing anything on the guitar itself, I can change from an acoustic 6-string to an acoustic 12-string with a foot switch.
Nice.
And it's got enough processing power for me to also take my bass through a different processor path, so that I could come out of the Helix floor into two different lines, go into two different lines into the board. The bass can stay separated. It can go through an Ampeg SVT of the 410 cabinet model and into one channel, and my guitar stays separated, goes out through whatever I decide to do electrically with that. So that's been a huge help. In how much gear old people have to take with them on a gig. So,
well, I guess we found out who the gearhead is in the band.
Definitely. Definitely.
How about you, Chaz? What kind of gear are you working with?
I've got a bunch of stuff. I actually, I'm constantly buying things too. Actually, I was playing a Telecaster for a while with us, an Ovation I started off with. And then I got a deal on a Kramer guitar. I only bought it because I loved the color. So I got that, and it was dirt cheap. It was $109 or something like that. And again, I just bought it for the color, but pulled it out. I said, "Well, I'm going to have to play it at least once." So I played it at practice. And I love it. I love this thing.
What color is it?
It's the neon green.
Well, when you said Kramer, I'm thinking either like neon green or pink or bright purple.
It's neon green.
But actually, the guitar that they were using, I love it. I've admired them since they introduced me to them, and then they had a sale on a Telecaster version. I didn't get to take advantage of the sale, but I went and bought the guitar anyway. And that's I currently go back and forth between the Kramer and the Fender
Acoustasonic or whatever they're called. Yeah. No, they're cool. They're cool. There's one sitting right there. Yeah. So they're pretty cool instruments. How you can the versatility behind them. You can play acoustically, or you can even get very close to mimicking a full-on electric guitar if you wanted to.
And the neck is just it feels like an electric neck. It's just thin and
it's 5 pounds.
It's light.
Yeah, it's light too, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. Considering a Les Paul's like 9 pounds, I think, something like that.
I had an old Ibanez Les Paul version. That was even more than the 9 pounds.
Oh, was it?
My neck's still hurting playing that.
How about you, Dave? What are you working with? You got a regular acoustic drum set, or are you playing with an electronic drum set, or what?
Regular set of drums.
Regular set of drums, yeah.
I don't like the electric.
No?
I'm just more comfortable on a set of drums.
Okay, yep.
Played them all my life, so I'm just used to it.
Yeah, what brand are you playing?
Well, I have let me see, my new set was a Tama that I travel with. I have a 3-piece Gretsch at home. I have Pearl downstairs.
Nice.
A bunch of different, that set downstairs I've had for 22 years.
Mhm.
It still plays really nice.
Nice.
Yeah. I should go to electric, it'd be a lot easier to carry around.
Maybe. I don't know much about drums.
When I go out to play, I wish I played guitar. Because I'm the first one in, the last one out.
Yeah, right? Yep.
Put baby in the corner.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because if you're a drummer, I would assume, again, I'm not a drummer, so I don't know, but I would assume you kind of almost have to have multiple sets, because if you're practicing here all the time,
Right.
you're just going to have a set here all the time.
Right.
And then if you're practicing somewhere else or whatever, or like you said, gig with, there might be a different set completely,
What
right?
broke that is the funeral home. Because I'd have my set there, and then we'd go out for a gig. Down them steps, come back
Oh,
at 1 o'clock
yeah.
in the morning, back up them steps and set back. And then I started thinking, I can't do this anymore. So
Right.
I started buying sets to put here and there.
Yep.
That one's been down, 40,
5, 6 years.
5, 6 years.
Yeah, it has. Wow.
I can't clean it all down there. Takes up half
And
my
I have the
basement.
one at home, and then I have the one I travel with. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit about influences, right? So, so Dave, who are some of your musical influences?
I'm game to play anything.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, I went to country. I've been classic rock. It's better for me. Keeps my mind going. It's different. I don't like playing the same stuff all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and it's a challenge
Yeah.
to do something that's not in your wheelhouse
Sure.
as far as dynamics and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever experimented with other genres like jazz and things like that too?
No.
No.
Well, I played in high school. I did dance band.
Okay.
I did dance band. So kind of, but
Yeah.
I'm more just classic rock, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not Neil Peart.
Nobody's Neil Peart.
I'm more like a Charlie Watts. I just keep it.
There you go. Charlie Watson, solid.
Steady. That's it.
Yep.
Solid.
Yep.
Not fancy. Just
Yep.
keep the. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. How about you guys? Is it all, as far as influences go? Chaz, who do you got?
Well, my Uncle David started me off on guitar, and he sort of leaned me towards Steve Miller,
Okay.
Steve Miller Band. And I did that again with Jerry Garcia. Then I really became a big fan of, especially when I just played by myself in the basement for 20 years, Frank Zappa. I love
nice.
Frank.
Nice.
It's just the way he puts things together musically is just
Okay.
his approach.
I've never given Frank Zappa an honest, fair shake, right? I've never really gotten into his music. So explain to me why you like Frank Zappa, as someone who doesn't listen to Frank Zappa.
Well, I mean, some of the lyrics he has can be abrasive and silly at times, but it's all within the music. I mean, he put great musicians around him, and the way that they, put it together more like an orchestra rather than a band.
Right.
And it's just amazing the way he controls it all. And he was really in control of it. I mean,
Yeah.
he had to have it this way, and that was it. If he didn't do it this way, then there's the door. And
Right.
I really, his take on drugs too at the time. He didn't mind people drinking, but no drugs.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah.
drugs whatsoever.
Wow.
It's like it would interfere with your musical ability.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
if you didn't, so that was a big thing. And then I mean that's my major influences. So
Okay.
I mean I enjoy all kinds of music.
Sure. Yeah. Very cool. Kim, Larry, how about your influences?
Gosh, I would say, John Denver as far as singing and playing.
Well, you're from
guitar.
West Virginia,
I'm from
so
West
why
Virginia.
not?
Exactly. So I have to say him. Definitely.
I thought you were going to say the Mummers.
Emmylou. No. No Deliverance. No. No. Emmylou Harris vocally, I think.
Okay.
Joan Baez, I learned some picking there too. And I would say Stevie Nicks and Gosh, that's
Jillian Welch.
Oh, yeah, Jillian
Rawlings,
Welch.
Jillian Welch.
Welch. I love them.
Nice. Okay.
They're just great. So.
Awesome. Yeah. How about you, Larry?
Mine started off when I first heard Crosby, Stills and Nash. I just thought that was that, and growing up very young with the Beatles,
Yep.
really totally got me started really liking music. And then I heard Yes.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And when Fragile and Close to the Edge came out, and I needed to go see these bands, and Yes turned into Genesis, turned into King Crimson. Back in the early '80s, King Crimson just took all of my focus.
Okay.
And that, incredible odd meter rhythmic timing, I just thought this is out of this world.
Nice.
And then got into Porcupine Tree and Steven Wilson and Tool and bands like that, which really has nothing to do with what I do musically.
I love Tool, by the way.
Just it's complex material. It's a more intellectual, Dream Theater. Those people, Petrucci, Tony Levin was a big influence. The different groups that he was part of, whether it was Peter Gabriel's touring band or whether it was Liquid Tension Experiment with Jordan Rudess and people like that. I just love those types of players.
Yeah.
And would try to learn even the simplest pieces by those people. I felt like I got somewhere with. I think for acoustic guitar, my primary influence of all time was Michael Hedges.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a chance to meet him a few times while he was alive, and a huge influence on how I approached alternate tunings for acoustic guitar.
Nice. How did you meet him?
Through a friend's, a relative of a friend of mine. They knew him back in the days when he played local clubs in Baltimore area.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And mention my name when you go to see him, because he would always come to the edge of the stage at the end of the show.
Okay. Nice.
And talk to the audience.
Yep.
And that's how I first got a chance to meet him, and he was just a wonderful human being and an unbelievable musician.
That's great.
Yeah. So they're my influences.
That's awesome. Awesome. Before we get to the performance, you guys plan on playing something for us?
If we can.
Okay,
Sure.
awesome. Before we get to that, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Any interesting stories or anything you want to promote or anything like that? I want to make sure we don't miss anything.
Sure. Well, like I said, this has been this version of the band for 3 months. So that we've had to retool and get things together. But we had some good shows when we were out there. We had notably we played a radio event. There was over 300 bands entered to be a part of this promotion, and they said they picked the best 10, and we were part of that 10.
Awesome!
So
Congratulations.
It was fun. It was a competition, and I believe, if I remember right, we came in third.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Every other band that was there
Oh
had
my
a
gosh,
record
yeah.
deal already.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So we were like,
yeah,
Wow, that's great.
we'll take it.
That's
Just to have
fantastic.
the experience.
What's that, Dave? I'm
Just
sorry.
to have the experience to do that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
This is really cool.
Yeah. So what was the radio station?
WIOV. It's
Okay.
a country station out of Lancaster.
Okay, cool. Did you and what did that entail? You submitted music and then
Yeah, we had to submit 3 songs, and had to wait and have them do the judging of it. And
Yep.
I said, you'll get a call if you get a call. If you don't, you didn't make it.
Okay. All right. And what
I got a
happened
call.
when you got the call? Did you play somewhere or did they play your music on the air?
No, we played a park in New Holland. I can't remember what the park was called,
Okay.
but
It was a huge outdoor event.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Thousands of people came.
Wow.
I
Great
think.
Yeah,
I
it was
would think.
nice stage, huge stage.
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
like, we're,
You had 5 minutes to get on.
5 minutes
to play.
oh yeah, there was
and
no
5
time.
minutes to get off.
So we're like, okay.
Everything's set. There's drums there and everything.
Yeah.
Sound
And
guy.
beautiful
But I
backline.
must
Yeah.
have been 20 feet behind.
Look, yeah, there was a delay.
Dave was in a different zip code from the rest.
Way out there. And
Yeah.
way
Oh my
up, and
gosh.
behind him was terrible.
Yeah.
I always hate when I can't, when everybody's here, we can eye
Yeah.
contact, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like,
I assume you had a monitor back there, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. They did it really professionally. They had
It was sound man and it was
they
great.
had a whole sound team
That's
that
awesome.
came in and
Yeah.
knocked that out.
Okay.
Stray was that was the sound company that did that.
Oh, okay.
They were
Cool.
awesome.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
It was a fun time.
Yeah,
was
it sounds
good.
great.
The winner of it got to open up for a bunch of well-known country bands at Fall Fest that
okay.
they have.
Yep.
And that was a huge thing.
Sure.
So and the band that won it, they were good.
Yeah.
They were good. Yeah, there's I heard them go up on stage. I said, yeah. But it was a good experience. It was a fun time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great that you came in third and you got to play that big stage. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, that was
fun.
a
That's
great
great.
got into the
experience.
10, so,
Yeah.
just getting into the 10.
Yeah, just getting into the 10. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. So what song are you going to do for us today?
Actually, it's a song that was written by a friend of mine. His name is Butch Zito, Butch Zito Band from Delaware. He wrote a song called Roslyn Town.
Rosalind.
When Charlie Ricosny, who used to be in the band, he moved to Seattle or Portland, somewhere along that way, and we had a farewell party for him. And at that farewell party, Butch was there, and we were talking, and they said, "Do you know that they started a train song band?" And Butch said, "Train song? Hey, I got this one. You can have these. These are good." And I listened to him. I'm like, "Yeah, that Roslyn Town, that's a really good tune." He says, "Go ahead."
Nice.
So yeah, that's the one we
Fantastic.
played. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Looking forward to it. So thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Great.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
It was
so
great.
much.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I'm glad.
All right, this is a song written by Butch Zito. It's called Roslyn Town. Sun going down over Roslyn Town.
you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I love it.